What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. As you guys can see in front of me, I have a Koyo radiator. In this box I have some radiator hoses by Samco, as well as the coolant from Subaru that we're going to be needing to refill the new radiator. This is a mod that I've been wanting to do on the STI for quite some time now. Finally went ahead and picked it up, and we're going to be adding this to the car. Before I go ahead and unbox anything, I'm going to go ahead and take off the stock radiator first, get that removed out of the way, then we're going to go ahead and get this one out of the box. So let's get to the car, let's get that OEM radiator out of there, and let's install this new one. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and drain all the coolant out of the car. Once that is finished, we can go ahead and remove the radiator. So I'm going to go ahead and let that fully drain, and then we'll be right back. So the majority of the coolant has now drained. I'm going to go ahead and plug that back up. Then we're going to remove the top and the bottom radiator hose and try to drain any more coolant that we can before removing this radiator. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this bottom radiator hose now. Now while we're under here, let's go ahead and disconnect the fan that's on this side. The plug should be right above this inlet for the hose. I'm going to go to the other side as well and disconnect the other fan. Now I'm just going to lower my car and see if any more coolant comes out. Now let's disconnect this top radiator hose right here, as well as these two hoses right here. Now let's remove the coolant overflow tank that's right here. Go ahead and take this hose out. After you remove that hose right there, there's going to be a clip on the side right here. You just push it in from the inside, and it should be able to release the whole tank. So the wind is really picking up here, and it looks like it's about to rain, so I really hope not. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and continue as much as we can. So on each side is going to be one of these brackets right here. 12mm bolt holding it in. You want to go ahead and get that removed on each side, and after that you should be able to pull out the radiator. Okay, let's go ahead and pull it out. I want to give you guys a good look at the sky right now. It's not looking too good. So it looks like the rain is coming in. I'm going to go ahead and put all this away really quick so nothing gets soaked. If it stops raining, I'll finish the install today. If not, I'm going to have to postpone this till tomorrow. Washington weather is such a pain in the ass. So I'm undercover for the meantime. I'm going to go ahead and do an unboxing right here. If you guys hear a lawnmower in the background, I apologize. That is my neighbor deciding that he wants to mow the lawn in the rain. So there's the radiator itself. Comes with the sticker, a little paper that's a warning basically telling you not to use anything else besides the recommended antifreeze or coolant. Let's go ahead and go back to the stock radiator now. Let's get the fans off. So taking the stuff off is actually very simple. Let's go ahead and remove this metal pipe first. Take this hose off right here, and then take out these 10mm bolts. And for the fans, there's going to be 2 more 10mm bolts, and these will come right off. Now just lift up and remove it. Now before I put the fans onto the Koyo radiator, let's see some comparisons between the two of them. As you guys can tell, it's a very big difference. Should be very helpful in keeping the coolant temps down on the STI. Okay, let's go ahead and get this radiator out of the way. Let's get this one flipped over and let's get the fans onto it. Now, a cool thing about this radiator that the stock one does not have, right there's an area where you can actually put a coolant temp sensor into the radiator if you want to. There's a fitting right there on the radiator that you can just remove, put the sensor in, and you're good to go with the gauge. I might do that in the future, we'll see, but for now, let's just go ahead and get all the fans and everything onto this radiator. So let's start off by removing these bolts right here that are on the radiator right now. Now let's get the fans on here. Since it is aluminum, you do not have to tighten it too much. Yeah, I totally spaced about the whole pipe, so this one and that one goes in after you put that pipe on. So let's get this hose back on. And that's basically it, besides the one little plug that we have to do on the corner right there. Let's go ahead and remove this guy. And we're going to be using the smaller one. So I'm not sure if you need to put anything on these threads, but since it has an O-ring on it, I think we'll be fine. If it ends up leaking in the future, we'll just pull it out and put something on there. But I'm just going to install it as it is right now. So this is all ready to go back into the car now. One thing I want to mention is the drain bolt or the plug. You want to double check that it's tight because mine was loose. So just double check it's nice and tight. Then you can go ahead and put this back into the car. So let's go ahead and go back to the STI and let's put this guy in there. Look at this nice blue sky now. I swear Washington has some weird weather. Before I get the radiator in here, I'm going to go ahead and remove the stock hoses. So the top radiator hose and the bottom one as well. So let me do that really quick. Now if you're wondering why I took those off, it's because I got new ones, and I'll also make it easier to get the radiator in here. Let's get this coolant overflow tank back into position as well. There we go, wasn't too bad. I want to get a new coolant overflow tank. Just got to find one that works with my setup. I'm going to go underneath the car and plug the two fans in really quick, and then we're going to work on these new radiator hoses. Okay guys, all that's left now is just to get the new radiator hoses on there and then put the coolant into the system. There is most likely going to be some trimming involved on the new hoses to make them fit with the new radiator, but we'll figure that out, we'll make it work, and then we'll fill the coolant system. Alright, here's the new radiator hoses by Samco. Let's go ahead and open them up. So this is what they look like. Let's work on this upper one first, see how much we got to trim it. We might not even have to trim it. Yeah, it's actually a really good fit and there's still good clearance here. But I'm thinking that just to make it come out this way a little bit more, I might trim just a tiny bit off of this piece. So like that, I feel like would be plenty. I also picked up some new radiator hose clamps. They're nothing special, but I like them more than these ones, so we're gonna go ahead and swap them out for these. So this one's all done and tightened down. Let's go ahead and do the lower radiator hose now. Okay, I believe it goes on like this. And the fitment's actually really good. Don't have to do any trimming on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the hose clamps on here and let's tighten it down. Alright you guys, we're all finished. The install is fully complete. All I have to do now is just fill the system with some new coolant and burp it. If you guys want to know how to burp the cooling system, just watch my how to install a cylinder 4 cooling mod video. I guide you guys through it on that video, but on this one I'm just going to do a time lapse. So let's just go ahead and fill the coolant and let's burp the system. Alright, well the coolant is now refilled. It has been burped. Temps look good on the car. Now one thing that I recommend, the next day that you guys drive this car, double check all of the levels for the coolant. You might need to add a little bit more. Keep an eye on the coolant temp if you have a gauge on the access port or a gauge in general. If it starts going too high or it seems like it's overheating, you still have some air in your system that you got to burp out. So you're gonna have to do this one more time. But the new radiator is finally installed. Looks really good. Just looks amazing inside of the engine bay. Look at that. No more of that ugly plastic piece for the old OEM radiator. Well, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe for more content if you guys are interested in stuff like this. I'll see you guys in my other videos. Have a good day, everybody.